There goes one project. That one's running. There goes another project. And another one. Well, today we're going to be working on this one. Obviously, it's a Volvo video. But this right here is what happens when you guys run 85 in a quad engine, stock piston and all that. Look at the head, cylinder head. Oh boy, it's seen better days. It's a good thing that only the top, so the, what do you call, the piston ring snapped and came out. All the rest of them are intact. So I ended up with a good cylinder. So good day, everyone. So today I'm gonna get back to working on the Volvos. I've been busy lately, so today I finally got to it. So yesterday actually night, I cleaned up the block, cylinders, and from the gaskets and all that. So it's pretty clean now, as you guys can see. Like, I cleaned up the top of the cylinders, and then the exhaust manifold and intake manifold, so it's all clean. So right now it's pretty much ready to get shimmed. So I'm gonna get the shims and start shimming it. I made a video already on the channel, so if you guys want to go check that video out, you can. This is just gonna be a pretty quick video. I'm not gonna go in depth about assembly and shimming and all that. So this is just gonna be a video about me doing assembling that. I'm gonna try to do, like, you know, basic details, but if you guys want to see more in-depth video where the engine is out, go check the other video out. I could probably include the link to the video under the description of this video. So yeah, I'll have that up. So as you guys probably can see, I got the cylinder head back from the machine shop. So what was the problem in this car? Why was it having similar symptoms to a cracked block? Well, this head was really warped. So whoever took it out before, they didn't either torque it right or they didn't machine it, because every time you want to take this head out, you want to machine them, because if you don't, at least check it with a straight or something to make sure it's not warped. But this one was pretty warped. It was a like bare maximum. Like, they said if it was any more warped than what it was, he's like, they would not recommend running it. But with this kind of spec, this is his, like, that's the bare maximum that we would say we can machine it, and then you can run it and you're probably not gonna have any issues. Anything more than that, we would have issues. So that was the issue with this car, a warped head. So whoever was working on this car didn't machine the head or didn't torque it properly. I don't know what the deal is, but anyways, the problem was a warped head. So yeah. So if you guys remember from last video, I got my shims for the other engine from D-Works. This is what I did the same thing. I cleaned up the grooves, measured what kind of shims I needed. I sent them out. So I had two of 0.35 and two 0.032 shims. So that's gonna be my shims. I'm gonna install them the same exact way as I did in the other video. I'm gonna put some sleeve retainer on the shims as well to keep them in there, and we got aluminum block to keep, you know, when you try to tap them in there, so when you hit the block, so you don't damage it. So yeah, that's the set we're gonna be doing next. And for when I'm gonna be assembling the head, putting the head on top of the engine, I got myself the torque angle gauge. You'll need that. And then for the valve cover, we got the crankshaft align tool with valve cover compressing tools. You put that in a spark plug slot and then just press down the valve cover. So yeah, I bought some of these tools. They're gonna be handy in me doing this. Of course, I'm saving a lot of money by doing this myself. So those tools, maybe I spent maybe 40 bucks or 30 to get all that. So yeah, you're gonna need those tools to do this job. You want to clean the grooves before you shim them, so you get a smaller gauge and then just put it in the grooves where you put the shims and just clean it out nicely. Just make sure all the debris, everything is out of there, so you don't put the shim in there with some debris in there. So yeah, I'm using a 0.030 shim or gauge. So yeah, it's all clean now. So now it's all ready to go. So I'm gonna measure, make sure I put the the right sizes, whatever I need in the right slots. But I think this is 0.032, both of these, and then these are 0.30. But I'll double check. I mean 0.035 and then 0.032, sorry, on this engine. So I'll double check that, and then yeah, I'll start shimming it. So as I showed you guys last time, the D-Works shims right here on this spot right here on top in the center, you're gonna feel a notch. So make sure you guys sand that down so it doesn't stick on the cylinder when you guys gonna put it in the cylinder. Every single one of them have that little notch. I think that's from when the machine or whatever they cut it with, they cut it and the notch was left in the center. So I just like to sand that down really quick and then put them in there. So as I showed you guys last time, the D-work shims right here on this spot right here on top in the center, you're gonna feel a notch. So make sure you guys sand that down so it doesn't stick on the cylinder when you guys gonna put it in the cylinder. Every single one of them have that little notch. I think that's from when the machine or whatever they cut it with, they cut it and the notch was left in the center. So I just like to sand that down really quick and then put them in there. Okay, so I got my shim, and then I got my sleeve retainer compound that I'm gonna put on the shim, and I'm just gonna tap it in the grooves right there. I'm gonna start it, and then once it gets low enough, I'm gonna tap it with the block the rest of the way in. Alright, as you guys saw, all the shims are in now. Tap them all in. So now I'm gonna get ready to put the head gasket in. I'm gonna tap these guides in, make sure they're all the way in, make sure I didn't pull them out when I took the head off. And yeah, we're gonna start putting the head on there. Okay, you guys, so I just run them down really lightly first. So now we're gonna be torquing it. So we're gonna start from here. So we go 20 Newton meters first, and then 60, and then 130 degrees twisting. So we're gonna go 20 Newton meters here, kind of just work our way out, and then do 60 the same way, and then 130 degrees for each bolt from there. So yeah. Okay, so you guys saw me torque it to 60 Newton meters. So 20 then 60. So from here to here to here, pretty much just work your way outside. If you guys saw me, I torqued it, I double checked the torque like 3 times. On the 4th time is this time that it was already good. So you go once around, and then do it twice and 3 times to double check, make sure all of them are at 60 Newton meters, because you would be surprised. I torqued them once to 60 Newton meters, then I came back to these were loose already again. So make sure all your bolts are at 60 Newton meters. So make sure you go around like 3 or 4 times. Make sure they all torqued evenly, so you don't have these bolts tighter than these ones. So make sure all of them are the same, and then from there it's 130 degrees. So I'm gonna get myself the one that I showed you, this guy right here, the torque angle gauge that shows you how many degrees you're twisting. So that's what's gonna show me when I hit the 130 degrees. So from 0 to right about there in between the 120 and 150. So right here, so 120, 130, 140, and 150. So up to that line right there. So yeah, so that's gonna be the final torque sequence, is 130 degrees for the same sequence from here, and then just work our way out. So okay, so we got the head on, we got it all torqued in the sequence. So now let me see what I want to do today. What else? Maybe put the cams on and put the valve cover on, and then time it, maybe hopefully today, or maybe tomorrow. Today's what, Thursday? yeah, maybe get back to it tomorrow and finish the assembly, or Saturday. So we'll see. But I'm glad I got the head on today. We'll see what I'm gonna do next, but I guess you guys will see in the video whatever I decide to do next. Good day, everyone. Another day. So we're back at the car. We got this thing out of the way now, assembled. So where did I pause yesterday? Okay, so I put the head on, as you guys saw, and I put the exhaust manifold on because I thought, well, I mean, if I have a bunch of stuff off of here, I have more room to get back there. So I might as well just put everything back there, bolt it up. Man, it took a lot of time. Like those bolts, and then they put in the gaskets in there, because for the S60R, the gaskets are like piece by piece. So it's like 5 of them, little ones. And you got to stack them like in a row, like put the first one on and then that one kind of overlap. Anyways, yeah, it was a pain to do, but I got the gaskets on. It took me like, man, probably an hour and a half to try to get the gaskets in there and then put the studs in. Now I just gotta finish tightening it and then put the coolant pipe, bolt up coolant pipe to the head also, and I think that's it for the back of the engine. And after that, I'm gonna put the cams on next, put the valve cover on, and then put the timing belt on. That's gonna be the next few steps I'm gonna be taking. I got all the exhaust manifold bolts. I got the coolant pipe right there tight. That was a pain. This part took me like probably half an hour just to get the coolant pipe on there. But that's probably because I was using the wrong tools first, and then I got the right tools, and it took me like 15 minutes. But either way, yeah, got the exhaust manifold, the coolant pipe, pretty much everything in the back is done. So next, what I'm gonna focus on, I'm gonna put the cams back on. Most likely, no, actually, I'm gonna put the coolant pipe. There's a coolant pipe on the side there too. I'm gonna put that on there because that's kind of pain to do. I don't want to put everything and then have trouble doing that. So I'm gonna put the coolant pipe, or whatever do you want to call that, there, and then I'm gonna move to the top end of the engine and then do the timing belt and all that. Okay, so as you guys can see, I used the Victorine stuff, pretty good stuff too, for the valve cover gasket this time, and got the seals in on the crankshafts. I'm not gonna take oops, that was an impact. Oh well. Anyways, I put the cam seals over here, the front ones on right now. I unbolted the screw right here, one of them, so I can put the valve cover on and screw it on, and then I'll put the rear ones in afterwards, after I put the valve cover on. Okay, as you guys saw, I tightened that in the pattern from inside out. I got the cams locked and then moved them to the right, and it looks like the markings are on top. Both of them are lined up, so nothing was screwed up. I never took these off, locked them up, but they look right. So all I have to do now is just make sure the crank is top dead center, they line up the mark. If you guys want to know about the mark, go check out my assembly video where I assembled the engine outside of the car on the channel. I believe it's going to be under the cheap S60 build playlist if you want to check the details. But yeah, I'm going to put the crankshaft top dead center and then put the belt on, spin it a few times, double check, make sure all the markings line up, and yeah, that's going to be it. I'm going to pop the belt on and I'm going to wrap it up for today. Maybe put the spark plugs on, but that's about it. So, and then tomorrow I'll get back to and do the intake manifold and put all the wires and everything back, and then start it up tomorrow. It's gonna be Saturday, so I mean, for you guys it's gonna be one video, but you know, for me today, that's gonna be wrapping it up. I spent quite a bit of time in here. I'm trying to do this stuff carefully. I'm not rushing anything, so yeah. Okay, so got the timing belt on, tensioner tight. I spun it around, made sure the timing is good. I put the rear cam seals in, put those back in. And then yeah, put the spark plugs back in so nothing gets in the engine. So yeah, now it's ready for putting the wiring back, putting the intake manifold back, thermostat and stuff. So yeah, not a lot of stuff left. Like 70% of the stuff is already done. I'm kind of exhausted because I've been at work in the morning and I came from work, been working on this and doing a few other things in between. But yeah, so I'm gonna wrap it up for today, and then tomorrow I'm gonna get back to it, yeah, and get it finished up and started. Hopefully everything is good. Okay, so we're back. So we got the thermostat housing on. We got it loose because I put it on and I made a mistake of not starting that intake manifold bolt right there down there. If you don't start it and you put your thermostat housing on, you will not be able to start it. So make sure you start the bolt on the intake manifold, the first one on the bottom there, and then put your thermostat housing on. So this is loose already. I'm going to tighten that, and then I got the gasket on, got the 2 bolts started, so the gasket is hanging on the intake manifold. So I'm going to tighten the thermostat housing and then intake manifold bolts, tighten all those, and I will proceed to hooking up the injectors and then putting all the wiring and everything back. Okay, so this is where I'm at now. I got everything together, put this cover on, put all the coils on, put the cam sensor covers on, or cam sensors on. So yeah, I put the injectors on, got this bolted, all that is bolted now. So now last things I gotta put the covers on, put the intake box on, and that's pretty much it. Well, and then the strut bar, and then also the motor mounts. That's about it. It's all together. I checked the oil levels good. The coolant won't go down anymore, so I have to start the car for it to circulate, then I'll fill it in the rest of the way. So I'm gonna start it and then let you guys hear the first start, if it decides to start. That sounds like an exhaust leak right there. Alright, we can fill some coolant. It started. Sounds like a misfire, I don't know. I have to check, make sure I connected everything. Okay, it's full again. Alright, let's double check everything. So I'm gonna go triple check and then I'm gonna get back to you guys. So we started, that's the main part. So now I'm just gonna check, make sure I connected all the wiring and make sure I check the exhaust, because the exhaust sounds like it's not tight, but I'll double check it. So as you guys can hear, it sounds fine. There's no check engine light, no nothing, except it sounds to me like there's some sort of exhaust leak. Like it's weird how, that's weird. I tightened the exhaust manifold, I'm pretty sure. Look at this. There's like just the ABS and, you know, brake light, that's for the module, but look. It's been running for a few minutes now, but I mean, it accelerates, it boosts, everything sounds healthy, but it's just that exhaust sound. Like it's it looks like there's an exhaust leak of some sort in it. It sounds like, at least. Maybe I'm hallucinating here. No, I'm not. I'm pretty sure it has some sort of exhaust leak in it. I'm pretty sure. I'm gonna have to take a look at that, but yeah, it runs. It runs good too. Like it doesn't really shake or anything like that, but the exhaust leak is definitely real. I don't know what the heck I did, or I don't know, to be honest. I think I put all the gaskets in, I tightened it. I don't know what the deal is, but yeah, I'm gonna take a look. If it's something quick, I'll fix it. If not, I'll leave it alone because I gotta go for work for a week. So yeah, I'm gonna look at it next weekend if anything. Listen to that. Sounds good now. That's weird. I'm gonna have to take it for a drive and then see how it sounds, because it sounds good now. It just, I don't know, maybe I didn't hear it for a while and it sounded weird, but yeah, it sounded always like that. Let me close the window so I can rev it up. It says trunk lid open. That's what the yellow thing is for. But other than that, there's none. Yeah, there's nothing. No lights of any kind. Just says trunk lid open, that's it. So I'm happy. Okay, you guys, so I'm gonna go for a first drive. I'm gonna let you guys know what I hear, what I feel, you know, if, you know, we'll see. I'll let you guys know. But yeah, it does sound a little bit like exhaust leak somewhere. Somewhere there's an exhaust leak of some sort. I don't know if it's a exhaust manifold where I took it off, or it's actually an exhaust leak somewhere. But it does sound like an exhaust leak for sure. All right, so I'm back from a ride. I took maybe 2-mile ride. It runs good. The only thing I noticed is, like, I floored it a few times, and I think a boost hose or something there, one of the bad old hoses there, I kind of touched them. I kind of had a feeling they could probably blow under boost, but yeah, maybe one of the boost hoses popped off, because it kind of, at first when you go in a higher RPM, it kind of doesn't let it boost, kind of chokes, you know, it takes it off. So I'm gonna go check that right now, double check make sure I have no leaks under the car, and we should be good. And then after I get back from work, maybe next weekend, I'll get back to it, and then, you know, start doing other stuff to it and double check everything, wrap this up, make sure, you know, look at the exhaust leak that I think there is. And yeah, just as I suspected, you see that right there? Let me show you. That popped out, like the triangle or the three-way boost hose is slid out of the hose right here, so that's why it was cutting out right there. Anyway, so I figured out I'm gonna change all those hoses, the boost hoses. I'm gonna have to change all of them, but other than that, nothing, no leaks underneath. Exhaust, I'm gonna have to check on that, but no leaks of any kind anywhere. Everything sounds healthy, sounds good. I'm gonna have to replace all those hoses, the boost hoses, so then I'll slide off, get good clamps on them, and yeah, we should be good. All right, so that's gonna be a wrap for today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. This took me a few days because at work I kind of tried to fit in after work, because I kind of really got tired of the car being in the shop and me not being able to get to it. So I kind of tried to make time after work, even though I was tired a lot of times. But it kind of sucks when you kind of take a car apart and then leave it for a few weeks, for 3-4 weeks I think, and then try to put it together because you forget where everything goes, and you're putting stuff on and then taking it off because you forgot it's supposed to go after. Anyways, yeah. But hope you guys enjoyed this video. Maybe some of you guys found it helpful how to do this stuff. I'll get back to the car probably next weekend. I'll check on the exhaust leak that I think it is. I don't know if it was me, maybe I installed one of those little gaskets wrong, or maybe it wasn't even me because I took the manifold off, I kind of pushed it back a little bit. Maybe me pushing it back, maybe a leak somewhere occurred. Anyways, I'll look into it next weekend. The car is running now, and then I will replace those boost hoses, the hoses that are deteriorated, ripped off and came off when I was driving, so I need to replace those. And then we got shocks, and then we need to send out the ABS module to Ximodex, I think they're called, so they can repair it for me. But other than that, that's it. So anything I'm gonna be doing to that car, I'll be posting. So you know, there's gonna be some content for you guys, some useful content, maybe some fun content for you guys. Once the weather clears up, we'll be doing some fun stuff with both of the cars. Maybe taking them to the track, to the drag strip, and you know, anyways, we'll be doing some fun videos. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and as usual, see you next time.